and then the kind of got bugged out in game. Ooh, triple legendary versus minor furnace. Kind of been the story of this week's tournament. We've seen a lot of minor furnace.
That's the lightning. That's the lightning.
Whoa!
That's the lightning we're talking about.
So, okay, Rocket, we saw Woody last week win with Rocket, a relatively underused card because it happens to punish the Elixir Collector meta, a lot of the other meta games. I'm actually really excited to see Lightning because I prefer Lightning to Rocket overall. It doesn't straight up kill an Elixir Collector, but it does 6 of the 7 pumps. So, like, you can mostly wipe it out. But it's so good against these, like, Mini P.E.K.K.A, Ice Wizard, Musketeer defenses that we see, because you can just, for 6 Elixir, be like, okay, boop, 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 like, wipe out 10 Elixir worth of stuff. Let's, I hope we see a good Lightning. Hope we see a sick Lightning in this game, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
And, of course, the Ice Spirit on the other side. Can't throw that one away. Oh, and it's perfect.
Oh, wow.
We're in the Frozen Arena with the Ice Spirit deck. So cMcHugh, you know, obviously his minor usage is going to be really important. I am dying to see this Lightning and what that's going to do. Early good defense by cMcHugh.
Yep. Yep.
So Furnace, Mini P.E.K.K.A, Tower, very reasonable.
Yep.
I mean, that's... Even if you count the Furnace is only like 2 or 3 Elixir left, that's at least 7 Elixir wiped off the board, plus the Tower.
Yep.
Now, granted, he played the Minor already, though. So do you think this is a variation on the like Minor Fireball tricks that we used to see, where people play Minor, and then you play Barbs, and you Fireball the whole thing? Lightning is maybe a more expensive, but also much more potent answer to that sort of setup.
Oh, here comes the Ice Spirit. Oh,
it does freeze. It does.
Okay.
Go, Guards, go! Nice. Wow, those Guards are doing a good job of tearing it down. Look, the Minor is relatively, like, forgot to react to the Minor.
That was basically 500 damage. The Minor does about 500 damage untouched.
And here, once again, we see the Mini P.E.K.K.A clearing out the Minor.
Guards actually make it.
It's actually not going to stop the Ice Wizard, but pretty good.
The Guards themselves do about 500 damage if they just walk up. I never
oh,
knew
really?
That. Yeah. 2k health left on that left side tower. Guards walked up and just stabbed it.
They're similar to Minions in that regard. Minions take 3 shots each to kill, but they're faster. Guards take 4 shots each to kill.
But they're a little bit... Are they slower?
They're I think a little... They might be the same speed, but they do less damage.
Yeah.
So they get up and they have fewer attacks. They get more attacks in, but it's worth
no! The princess lives.
Oh, no. There we go,
though. It does a little bit of damage.
It does. Actually, Ice Spirit does about 100 damage at tournament cap, and Princess only has about 270 health. So if she has about 40% health or less, the Ice Spirit finishes her off.
Yeah. Got Lightninged again.
Now we have Zap in cMc's hand, but he's opting not to play it. Very interesting choice.
Yeah.
He could have zapped them right away, but I think he just didn't think it was overall going to end up doing anything, lead to any sort of value. Will this spawn up to... Oh, he needs the zap there. Oh, wow. That was actually a lot of Elixir spent by cMcHugh to prevent what? Like a one swing on a Furnace? I don't know if I would have...
And the Furnace that would die to Lightning anyways.
Yeah. The Princess going to clean that up. And, oh, no, here's a pretty interesting push because we've got a Fire Spirit still alive.
He needs to scramble to find defense.
Oh, I like the last-minute Guards, though, to distract the Mini P.E.K.K.A.
Okay, this is going to be really, really interesting because Trainer Nick has the option to assist this push with Lightning right now.
Nick has done... it's funny because even though he's got Lightning and really he's been punishing these bigger defenses, he hasn't been able to punch through a lot of damage onto the tower.
There, he actually does opt to spend it.
Here we got the counter. Oh, the locked onto the Guards, though, first. One Guard will make it up there and start doing damage. Look at that. I'm at about 80 damage a swing.
Yeah, that's actually
pretty reasonable.
Very similar to that whole Minions discussion that we were having. It's much the same. If you have one little cheap unit that does a good amount of damage just alive, it adds up a lot.
And we talked about just playing not to lose at this point. I think cMcHugh can win purely on just poison. Whoa, maybe not. But I was going to say just purely on the poison and other things. But here we are in overtime. Yes, that's it. He's going to take it home.
That's it. The Lightning... Man, the Lightning was strong, and the ideal situation was if Trainer Nick could have caught the Mini P.E.K.K.A and the Musketeer with the Lightning. The important thing to know about Lightning is it takes the highest health units.
Yes,
and so actually the Guards were a non-factor in that scenario. The Lightning, I feel like, would have been much better spent on that clump of units just to make sure all you're dealing with is the Minor and then the Guards.
This is one you're really going to like. Trainer Nick switches to his other deck. So cMcHugh wins. cMcHugh must switch decks. Trainer Nick opts to switch decks to his other deck using Sparky and Log. Yes. So here we are. Oh, Trainer Nick, I want you to win some money with Log. Yes. I want you to win some money with Log and Sparky.
Goblin Barrel.
So let me talk about this deck.
3 cards that I really like here.
So here's what the thought of this deck is. The plan for this deck is that it is trying to maximize... or it's trying to punish you for your zaps. It's got Goblin Barrel, it's got Fire Spirits, it's got Mini P.E.K.K.A. and Sparky. All 4 of those cards are very reasonable to zap. If left to its own devices, it builds up the kind of like giant Sparky pushes that are pretty powerful, can overwhelm. But if they sense that you're a deck that maybe doesn't have a lot of ways to reset or swarm the Sparky, it tries to overload you with like Sparky plus Log plus Goblin Barrel kind of all at once, and you just don't have enough like zap.
The interaction between Sparky and Log is very, very good, because when we initially talked about Log, I talked about this idea of you don't have to necessarily kill them, you just have to convince them to have to wait.
Yeah.
And if you wait too long against Sparky, it shoots your tower,
right.
and that split second is the difference between a win and a loss.
And we've also talked, people have been really upset about Log as a card because they're saying, well, like, Log doesn't replace Zap. And I don't think it's that Log replaces Zap. It's like you got to find a deck that wants to play that wants to play 2 Zaps, right? And this deck seems like it does. It wants Zap and Log. Well, let's not keep you waiting any longer. I am dying to see this deck. Trainer Nick, cMcHugh, game 2. If cMcHugh wins, cMcHugh advances into the top 4.
Yeah.
So this is the life. All of Trainer Nick's life is hinging on this Sparky here.
We've got that Sparky in there.
And of course, let's put big old Sparky up on the board.
It's 1,300
The only card in the game that does more damage than its own hit points. That one hits itself.
1,300. That is ridiculous. And here he's just starting with it. This whole idea of card cycling. He's just starting with it. Giant in front.
Announcing right away what kind of player he is.
Okay, so
we got giants on both sides too.
He's got Log available. Okay, so
the
there
Zap
was
is
a
already
Zap.
restarted, so we got like 3, 2.
Oh, the Fire Spirits!
Wow.
This is dangerous. This is getting really, really dangerous.
3, 2.
Oh, and he doesn't have Zap! He doesn't have Zap!
5, 4, 3,
I think that tower's done.
2.
Man.
Ah!
Goodbye. I think that tower's done. It's not even a minute. There's 5 seconds to 2 minutes.
cMcHugh doesn't have Zap in the deck. Oh, no, he does have Zap. He used it early. He used it early. So here we go. I don't know if cMcHugh has a lot of experience against these Zap bait decks.
Oh my god. And even if you are, what do you do? What do you decide to zap? There's so many things you have to zap, actually.
I think he's going to want to start poisoning the Sparky and not worrying about zapping the Sparky, but starting to put the giant in front of the Sparky, right?
Yeah.
Like plop it in front and just let it take like 2 shots while everything else is killing it.
The giant can actually be played in the aggressive extended drop zone territory to tank both towers immediately. Will Trainer Nick opt to do that? He might be incentivized to keep it near the Sparky instead.
It looks like they're just going to swing sides. Like it looks like he's just going to counter push the other side and try to defend differently.
I feel like
so
Trainer
Zap
Nick
again
is
was
actually
used,
very happy
but what was the
about
point of
this.
that Zap, right? So cMcHugh just zapped the Sparky, but why? Like that cannon didn't kill the giant, right? It didn't kill the Sparky. I just feel like that might not be the best time for him to be zapping.
Yeah, I think the big thing there for cMcHugh was he was able to play his Musketeer late.
Yes.
And the Musketeer tagged onto the Sparky. Whereas before, he had already committed his Musketeer, and his defense choice was the Mini P.E.K.K.A., but that Mini P.E.K.K.A. got immediately chopped down by Fire Spirits and the Mini P.E.K.K.A. of Trainer Nick's
Right.
own.
I mean, it's certainly an improvement, right? Like, it's better, certainly better to not lose a tower than lose
Yeah.
the tower. But I just feel like against a deck that's really going to punish every Zap play that you have, like taking a little more, be a little more careful with it.
Nice. Interesting use of the Log.
It pushed. Oh, wow. Look at that. Separated the.
Yeah.
One Mini P.E.K.K.A. swing plus a Log kills those sorts of troops too. So I wonder if it goes with the Mini P.E.K.K.A. where like if the Log hits either an Ice Wizard or a Musketeer, then the Mini P.E.K.K.A. just one hits it and takes that much fewer
comes the
damage.
big money.
Was the Zap already played?
Money. Yep.
Oh, there it is. Zap's on the
no.
other side. So you can see how bad it is if you can't,
So one of the interactions when we were talking about kind of the popular Royal Giant spot to put big bodies to aggro both the towers at the same time, that synergizes really well with Goblin Barrel.
Oh, good point. You're right, because you can just play Giant in the middle, let both towers attack it, then Goblin Barrel's anywhere to work. That opening Sparky, wow, 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 wow. So now we go to Game 3. Trainer Nick has to go back to his original deck, and cMcHugh stays the deck. The Sparky just comes out of nowhere to get that kill, and then goes right back into the deck box.
Yeah.
So let's see. Is Game 3 right here?
Yep.
So we'll get right into it. But
Yeah,
as
so
we
it's
see
the
the
lightning
giant
deck.
poison deck against. Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, very interesting.
Okay.
Trainer Nick versus cMcHugh. Let's get right into it.
So in general, lightning is a little more difficult to justify against big body decks just because
Yes.
the big body will almost always attract the damage and not get killed. And so your supporting units, which in many ways you could argue are the most important part about the big body decks, is what you put behind the giant, may survive. That one extra attraction to the lightning may help maybe. Oh,
What just got killed? I'm trying
Musketeer.
to... Musketeer. So that's 2 elixir to do about 400 damage or so to the tower. I think that's probably okay, right?
Yeah.
So maybe maybe Trainer Nick is realized he should just be more aggressive with the lightning, like cycle the lightning as much as possible because a lot of these games are coming down
that's
to...
juicy for lightning right there.
Oh, but it's too late, right? Like
Yeah.
he just cast the lightning, so now he can play what would be
Bad to play
against lightning, right?
Card cycling.
Oh no, we didn't hit the princess. The princess is gonna go
There's
the
so
other way.
many princesses.
Princess is gonna go left.
Just have.
And look, it's hitting the collector
Oh,
too
wow.
now. Wow, that's
Yeah, that
that's
hurts.
the world's most valuable princess there for Trainer Nick.
Yep. Interesting. Trainer Nick was capped on elixir, so he felt compelled to play a card. He had to play the mini P.E.K.K.A. in the back, but guards will kind of rectify that situation and still ensure that his line of play is kind of clean.
Sure. And it actually does still hit the Ice Wizard, so...
Yeah.
Oh my god,
still
I almost
valuable.
killed
And
it.
then it almost took another swing, yeah. That miner gets a ton of damage. cMcHugh on now double elixir, but lightning is still on the table, but he smartly plays it away from the low
Yeah,
health tower.
if that was actually tilted to the right, lightning could hit both.
Yeah.
Lightning can hit the back corner and then also a collector that's in the middle tilted towards your side. So by tilting it away, he's doing a good job separating it. And I think at this point, he might even just not be able to play any more collectors on the left side.
Yeah.
He'll have to play them
all on the
all in the back corner, actually, the right corner,
Yeah.
because any lightning now is going to be very high value against
Yep.
that left tower.
Yep.
Oh no, here comes another. Yeah, you can see from the little highlight, the little stat things, those Inferno Towers are hard counters to Giants. They both cost 5, except the Inferno Tower kills those things without taking pretty much any damage.
Yeah, nice defense with the mini P.E.K.K.A. against the miner there. And cMcHugh needs to be very, very, very careful that that tower does not get chipped any lower.
Yeah,
Because
Inferno Tower goes down, I think, before. Yeah, perfect timing there,
Yeah.
so lets it get through.
Yeah. The scary thing when you start including lightning and rocket into decks is that technically you need to be very careful. Like 923 health is already in very critical territory against lightning.
And he already did. Like, so he just lightning. He played a collector
Like
in the middle, got immediately lightning.
The fact that this Ice Wizard is doing this right now, okay, well, he's basically lost the game here.
You think so? Because now it's within 1 lightning range. So he's got. So cMcHugh has 32 seconds to take a tower, and honestly, Trainer Nick's deck is unbelievably defensive and grindy.
Yeah. It's very hard. It's kind of a pseudo rocket cycle, except it has a few more cards. It's not so defensive structure oriented, but the idea is the same. Right now, you're incentivized to just tank up and make sure you don't lose a tower. Miner defensively, you know, I think this is a good choice.
Yeah, I agree. Like, he pretty much knows that all he has to do is cast that lightning here. So, wow, lightning, which did not win the first time we saw it, has been really key in this game. From almost the very first card cast in the game, lightning was, along with Princess and Ice Wizard, were the primary damage dealers, not the mini P.E.K.K.A.s, right? I think, I don't know when, but the meta in the near future, well, by the way, congratulations to Trainer Nick advancing, losing game 1 and then winning games 2 and 3 to move on. I think in the future we might start to see a meta shift away from mini P.E.K.K.A. because everyone is so ready for it that it almost ceases to do the job that you would expect it to do.
It would just be foolish to continue playing your hand into your opponent's decisions.
So let's see. We have